Well, good evening, all my little bun buns. Daisy here with you tonight, feeling somewhat princessy and capey. Hard to tell because the angle of the camera. I was trying to get as much ears in as I can. But you never can get everything in everywhere and still be a good range. So, we do what we can. But, princessy, I promise. Sticking out, am I? Nope, good. Almost felt like I had a little breach there. Well, tonight we're going to have a thoughts video. Sure, my mouth is open enough so I can breathe and you can hear me. Those are two important things when it's involving a talking video. Breathing's always important, but so tonight I'm going to talk about a movie. We're going to have some thoughts on one of the most accidentally comical movies I remember over the last decade or so. And I'm really glad I did not see it in theaters because I think my laughing would have ruined it for anyone that was taking it seriously. This movie has a very simple title. 2012. Alright. Spoiler alert for anyone that's, worried that they're going to get this movie spoiled for them. Okay, that's done. Alright, this movie is based on the fact that the Mayan calendar ended in the year 2012. The Mayans have long since been gone, the ones that made said calendar, but people thought the world was going to end because their calendar ended in 2012. Okay, big spoiler to reality. Obviously, the world did not end in 2012. Also, think about it. Yeah, they made a calendar all the way out there. I have a feeling that's like that one nerd who sat there and wrote out all of pi to like the 5,000th number or something because they wanted to. Or the person that just kept looking for prime numbers, which is a thing. Okay, so there are nerdy people out there who think this stuff is fun. Let them have their fun. Okay, I'm not telling anyone they're not allowed to do that stuff. By all means, count pi out as far as you want. Look for all the prime numbers that exist. Go for it. That is entertaining to you. I am proud. Now, neither of those are my hobbies. And I'm thinking back in the bajillion years ago, whenever the Mayan person was making the calendar went, they made their calendar, and they just kept going until they got bored. Because think about it. Right now, I have a calendar in this room. It's over there. You can't see it, but there is actually one hanging on the wall. It's from our local zoo because our zoo is wonderful and we have a membership there. Get a membership at your local zoo. They appreciate it. And it ends at the end of the year 2021. Oh, does that mean the world ends at the end of 2021? No. That means you buy a new calendar. This one is expired. You get a fresh one. And knowing our zoo, we'll get another one in the mail sometime near the end of next year. So that'll cover our needs. So, whole plot of this movie is the Mayans needed to buy a new calendar, but they were all dead. So they never got around to it. Okay, done. Plot over. So theoretically, the world is going to end because it's 2012. 9 years later, again, we're pretty sure this hasn't happened yet. Or we're all dead and we just don't realize it. So the world doesn't actually end. Big spoiler there. It just kind of has a flood and a lot of tectonic plate movement all of a sudden. Which, again, science says doesn't really happen quite that way. The tectonic drift is more gradual, as far as we can tell, as opposed to all at once. Yeah. And apparently, part of the end game was the polar regions flopped a little bit. Like, the surface moved enough that The North Pole is not where it was before as far as land masses go. Same with the South Pole, but they're still North and South Pole. Now, the reason why this movie was not scary or exciting is because absolutely everything that you could think that would be cliche would be happening at a given time happens. Everything happens at the very last second like you'd expect. Everything happens just barely. The people you think are about to die, yeah, they're about to die. The ones that you think are going to live, yeah, they live. The ones that are going to be stupid, they be stupid. And it's just every single little potential train wreck that you know is going to happen because it would be perfectly appropriate here. It happens. Had anything gone righter or not per regulation, it would have been a more exciting movie. uh, so we start off with some chasing in a limousine because our hero, who is a divorced dad or something, is picking up his kids, and he's riding his company vehicle. He's a limo driver now. He picks up the kids, and they're trying to escape in a limo as California is breaking apart. San Andreas Fault has decided to become San Andreas Dumping Ground. And the whole chunk of California is busy breaking off. And every time you think one of the comical things, like, oh, there's going to be a raise, he's going to jump the limo, he jumps the limo. All that raised highway is going to fall down right there. Raised highway falls down right there. It's just every single time. And you know the people are going to be okay because this is the star of the movie. He's on the box. He's going to make it through. Or at least to the near end. Otherwise, why would he be the guy on the cover? And they're not just going to take the butt end off the limo and let the kids die because the car couldn't keep driving like that. So we know everybody's going to be fine the whole time. We escape in a plane. We barely take off. The world blows up behind us. Yep, kind of saw that coming. Just everything breaks right as they get in the plane. Right as they get off the ground, that's when stuff goes even crazier. Oh no! And they have to fly away with buildings and stuff falling. And from what I know about aeronautics, they should have been dead about 20 times during that scene section, because wind variance from falling buildings probably would have caused their plane to crash. Just saying. But movie, so they all survive. Yay! They make it. They end up at Yellowstone for some reason. Just go there because, of course, they went to where there was going to be something that's going to blow up. Because Yellowstone decides to erupt. All right, another big spoiler. Yellowstone is a gigantic volcanic thing that is constantly just ready to go, but is never erupting. It's potentially, at any given time, a volcano. A gigantic, mega, ultra volcano. If Yellowstone were to ever actually erupt in full, life on Earth probably would end because the amount of ash and gas and all that other hoo-ha that would come out of there would probably block out the sun for quite a long time. All of the air would become somewhat toxic, blah, 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 blah. We're actually dead at that point. So, of course, just because San Andreas Fault fell off, Yellowstone will have to erupt. There'll be one crazy guy sitting there, of course, who wants to report on all this with like a ham radio set, of course. Our heroes escape again in the plane, same plane, I believe, taking off as the runway is falling apart behind them and in front of them. Barely make it off the ground again. Yep, of course. And they make it somewhere else. I can't remember the order of everything that happens from this point on because I kind of roll off. It's really just Comedy of Errors. But I remember we ended up in yet another airport. We couldn't keep in this plane anymore. Find some Russian rich people and their pilot who they wanted to fly their personal plane, but they couldn't because of reasons. Lockdown, broken, whatever. Wherever they are, it's falling apart too. But they spot a jumbo super heavy loader car carrying jet that apparently is Russian. And they escape in that. This thing is like one of those, mammoth planes, the things that probably shouldn't be flying because they're just too big. Yeah, they kind of stole one of those, and it's full of, expensive high-end cars. So of course there's high-end cars. It's gonna happen. Gonna end up driving in one. Um, so they are trying to get to apparently where this escape craft is that these Russian rich persons have tickets for them and their family members. And flying out there, for some reason they have to crash land, reasons, movie plot reasons. And the only way they're going to get out safely is if they hop into one of the cars in the back and drive it out. Because. So they all hop into this really, really high-end, I can't remember the name of it, car that apparently has a voice ignition. So they're all trying to press buttons, trying to do things, and the big Russian guy goes, "Everyone shut up." He just goes, "Engine on." Car starts. And I'm like, oh. Couldn't have had just like a key fob or something with a button on it. No, you had to have it be voice activated only. So they drive out of the plane. One more person dies. Oh well, their Russian pilot guy goes down with the plane. And we barely make it to the safe place, which has got ships in it. They're boaty ships. I can't remember if it was 2 or 3 of them. But there were just enough slots in all of the boats for all the people who had tickets. And unfortunately, something goes wrong, and one of the boats is stuck and cannot get out because of earthquakes or whatever, and it's stuck. So we have 1/3 of the people can't escape. Retro. Some shenanigans go on. They decide to squeeze everybody into the 2 ships, and they launch. And make it out. Yay! So they're in the water. It's all choppy, and oh no, we're in the water. Oh no, we're in the water. But everybody in the boat ends up surviving. Mostly, I think like one person dies because of reasons. And they resettle on the now reformed Earth from where the tectonic plates landed and ground exists. Another big problem, like we had some scientists maybe survive, and we had rich people. None of them people know how to build a house. None of people going to be like, I'm going to go out here and chop down a tree and make a log cabin. No. We had rich people and scientists. You had no muscle in the, well, I mean, our big Russian guy, but he ended up dying, so you're stuck. His kids survived, and maybe they'll grow up and learn how to chop down a tree. None of these people know how to rebuild a society. We're screwed. We have two boatfuls of people who don't know how to do jack, and now they have to rebuild society with whatever's left in these arcs that they had made for themselves. Yeah. I give society like 2 years after this landing because they'll run out of any food supplies they had. I mean, again, everything got destroyed, so there's no crops anywhere. There's no livestock that they didn't bring with them. They have whatever food they have packed there, so even if they were really thorough on packing a lot of MREs, you got 10 years, assuming food is your only problem. So you can find fresh water because everything was mixed up. So there's not like a fresh water source anymore, except for whatever, if some underground water happens to exist and you can find it in time. So even if this didn't show the end of the world, it should have if they would have had a 10 years later version. Because that's when the world would have ended. When all of the remaining MREs were exhausted and they were no longer had any fresh water to find. And no one figured out how to build a house yet because they're all scientists or rich people. Because. Yeah, well. I did not find it a great action movie. I found it a delicious comedy movie. And I laughed pretty much the whole way through. I could in no way take this one seriously. But I loved it because it was such a beautiful train wreck. Kind of like a Rocky Horror Picture Show level of train wreck in the right way. And the fact that you could just sit there and laugh at some of the stuff that was going on. And what little eye candy you did get to have, like them taking off in the super duper heavy jet full of cars. And then again, for the third time, we had a runway, disintegrating under them as they're taking off. And just like, we're doing this again. Yeah, we're doing this again. We're taking off on an exploding runway. All right, let's do this. This is hilarious. Uh, so, can I recommend it as a good action movie? No. Can I recommend it as a great comedy movie? Oh, yeah. So, did I have a good time? Of course I did. Did I buy it pretty cheaply at Walmart? I didn't even buy the Blu-ray, okay? I almost always buy the Blu-ray. I did not buy the Blu-ray. I don't regret my choice. Uh, it was beautiful. It was a lovely movie. There's some of the back of the case too, as you can see. If it'll not glare at me the right way. Like the only characters I remember, that actually stick in my mind, the Russian pilot guy, the fat Russian rich guy, his two rich kids, and his second wife that was in the movie, and the small dog, and the wife dies. So, and the big Russian guy dies. The pilot dies. But the kids live. And so does this tiny dog that no one liked. Yay! Anyway, that was a stupid movie that I recommend watching just because it will make you laugh for the wrong reasons. I don't know how good it did in the box office. I don't really care. All I care is I had a good time for why I wanted it. And I hope you have a good time. But now, I'm prepared to find out how much I've insulted people. Please tell me in the comments if you watched this movie. If you liked it for the same reasons I did, or if you actually liked it for what it was supposed to be, or if you hated it. Let me know. Comment. I'm not insulted if you enjoyed it for the right reasons. I'm not insulted if you hated it. Just let me know. I'm curious. But if nothing else, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Little dingly bell for the little dingly bell. Let you know when I post new videos. Who knows? Could be a Daisy video. I've enjoyed wearing her a lot this week, so there's plenty of them going to be coming up. And of course, my Patreon link will be in the description box below. And if I can figure it out by the time I post this video, probably my Ko-fi link too. Because that's a thing. There's another way to give me money if you want to support the channel. But in general, thank you for spending some time with me. That's the most important part. Please don't forget to share this video with your friends. I'd love to see more people watching, and I hope I can entertain even more people out there. For now, this bunny's going to hop off, but thank you for spending time with me tonight. Really appreciate it again. And I'll see you all again on a future video. So everybody be good. Keep pink. Can't hit her.